Detective Malcolm Khalaji watched his boyfriend settle a laundry basket, one stacked to overflowing with a haphazard mess of desk supplies, atop a pile of boxes, and tried not to be obvious about looking for a limp. He couldn't help it. He knew Seong-Jae. He knew Seong-Jae as well as he loved him, and he knew damned well that that stubborn bastard would rather die than admit that he was in pain, or that the healed wound in his thigh was bothering him. Malcolm was probably worrying too much. The gash hadn't even needed physical therapy. The worst damage had been blood loss, even if it had left a thick, rigid scar that Malcolm had kissed again and again, especially after Seong-Jae had earned that scar, saving his life. Knowing he was worrying too much didn't stop him from doing it. But at least he kept his mouth shut, as he deposited the last of the boxes from the Camaro in front of the wardrobe, in the last clear space on the floor. Seong-Jae was right. This wasn't going to work. "Stop," Seong-Jae growled without even looking. "Staring at me." Malcolm laughed, dusting his hands off. "How can you tell?" "I can tell." Seong-Jae eyed the precariously perched laundry basket, then turned toward Malcolm, pulling his tight-fitting black t-shirt up to drag the collar over his face and wipe away the sweat gleaming on pale amber skin, bearing a glistening strip of tight abdominal muscles and his narrowly sculpted waist. When he let the shirt fall again, he left his wild nest of black hair tangled, falling across his brow, mixing with the diagonal scar that slashed between his eyes and turned those fierce black eyes even more feral and sharp than they'd been before, particularly when he glowered at Malcolm, the lush red bruise of his mouth sullen. "I know you are fussing." "I can't help it." Malcolm stepped closer and corralled Seong-Jae's hips in his palms, drawing him close and leaning up to kiss the sharply defined peak of his chin. Annoying, tall bastard of a boyfriend. "Remember how you yelled at me when I had that fractured rib?" Seong-Jae turned his head enough to catch Malcolm's mouth in a true kiss, searing him with the paradox of his mouth, the softness paired with that hard, deep heat, and that scent of smoke and diesel that turned Malcolm's heart into a churning engine of fire.